How young were you when you actually started making music professionally?
I was going to the University of Georgia. I started singing for a living. I've never had a real job, thank goodness. Well, hey, I say that this thing that we do is a real job.
Yes.
But I started singing for a living in 1973. So I've been doing this 51 years. I started out singing R&B music in a little Holiday Inn lounge with a high school. But I'm from Athens, Georgia. I graduated from high school in Athens, and I went to the University of Georgia. So we would sing 5 nights a week, and then get up and go to class in the mornings. We used our singing money, to pay the rent and pay our tuition, and so I did that. I did that for 3 years, and then I saw a documentary on David Allen Coe one day. I came home and turned TV on, and on the PBS channel there in Athens, and saw David Allen Coe, this outrageous guy, and I thought, man, I want to be that guy.
Yeah,
So I grew my hair out long and wild and woolly, and I was David Allen Coe for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Boy, I thought I was David Allen Coe.
So were you doing more like? Were you still doing like Southern R&B music, or was that outlaw country vibe?
Totally outlaw country.
Really?
Totally. I had a country rock band, and oh man, we were good. We were really popular in Georgia, and so I did that for 3 years, and then I put together a band called T. Graham Brown's Rack of Spam.
Rack of Spam, yes, I love that. Yeah,
and that was just a straight soul band, horns, and I did that for 3 years while Sheila was finishing up her master's work at Georgia. And when she finished school in 1982, the spring of '82, we moved to Nashville. So we've been here for 42 years.
Wow. And Nashville's better for it.
We just started over. We didn't know anybody. We didn't know how it worked. We didn't know anything. And then I met Terry Choate.
Wow.
And Terry was working at Tree Publishing Company.
Yes.
And he was their in-house producer for all their songwriter demos.
A true song man, Terry was. Absolutely.
Oh, and a wonderful cat, too.
Yes.
So he started hiring me to sing demos. And then my voice got passed around. Then I got real popular as a demo singer all over town. And so my voice got passed around Music Row on these demo tapes. Producers were listening for songs and looking for songs, and they would hear my voice on these demo tapes, and they started asking, well, this is a good song. Who's this guy singing? And then Terry got a job at Capitol Records.
Yes.
In probably 1984, and he told me they had a meeting about who they wanted to sign. Capitol Records revamped their whole staff, and he told me the first meeting they had, they were all around a conference table, and Jim Fogelsong, who was the head of the label then, said, well, who should we sign? And Terry Choate said, he stood up and said, we should sign T. Graham Brown. He's the singing SOB. And
I can hear him saying that.
and then the next guy said, we should sign T. Graham Brown. He's the singing SOB. And he said it went all the way around the table. Yeah. Everybody said the same thing. And then when it got back to Mr. Fogelsong, he said, well, sign the SOB. So that's how I got my first record deal.
Love it. Now, what year was that, T?
That would have been 84. So I was in town. I was in town about 2 years, and then I was able to get signed to Capitol. And it wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for Terry Choate.
Oh, man. I miss him so much, too. Yeah. Hey, question. So in the midst of this, now you've been an iconic voice on so many commercials, and I've done a lot of jingle stuff in the past, too, and you were always like a few years ahead of me, so I've always literally been following your career. And so you were the voice of Taco Bell, and I think that maybe was Dan Williams or somebody, but I know you've done a lot of jingles through the years. Now, were you already doing jingles before your record deal, or did that come after the record deal?
No, I was doing jingles before.
Okay.
I did a McDonald's commercial that was on the Super Bowl. The first thing, the big thing I ever did. I mean, I did a bunch of local jingles, car lots and
Sure,
and little businesses like that. But then I got hired to do a McDonald's commercial that aired on the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and it was a big hit. And my phone, that's where my phone started ringing, man. I think anytime they needed a guy with a raspy voice, they call me, and I did McDonald's, Burger King, Hardee's, Taco Bell, KFC, Coca-Cola.
It's your fault for all this heart stuff that's been going around. It's you. You're the guy that caused all these heart issues. No, I'm just kidding.
I did Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper and 7-Up and Mountain Dew and Budweiser, Stroh's, Miller's, Coors, every car and truck. Hey man, I even did Sometimes You Feel Like a Nut, Sometimes You Don't. I did that for 7 years.
No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah. People,
wow.
Hey, man, people have changed the channel on me so many times on TV.
I used to look forward to your commercials coming on.
Me too.
I love your voice.
Oh man, yes.
We had a blast doing those Taco Bell commercials. I did those for 4 years, and they actually let me be on camera. So I was like the Taco Bell guy, and they'd fly me out to Hollywood. Boy, they treated me great. They'd fly me out to Hollywood, a few times every year, and we'd go out to the desert and film those commercials. And
fun.
I made a lot of friends. I met Little Richard and went on to be lifelong friends with him. I did a couple. Somebody's put a bunch of them up on YouTube, and they're pretty funny to go watch.
Have to check that out, Brenda Lynn.
We will.
Yes, absolutely. So you've had some incredible music through the years, just so many great singles and awards and albums, and this brand new project. Now, who produced From Memphis to Muscle Shoals? Who produced this?
Me and Billy Lawson. Billy Lawson lives down in Muscle Shoals. We went down to Fame. Fame Studios?
Absolutely. Yes.
Well, let me preface this a little bit. A lot of my hits were cut in Muscle Shoals using the Muscle Shoals rhythm section, and I cut them at Muscle Shoals Sound, Hell and High Water, and all that stuff. So I've been going down to Muscle Shoals for almost 40 years now, and so I know all those people down there. So when we wanted to do this, I grew up in the 60s with a little transistor radio glued to my ear. And I'm from Georgia, and I loved Otis Redding, and I really love soul music.
Yes.
So I wanted to do this 60s soul tribute album. So we went down to Fame. We cut 14 tracks of songs that were either originally cut in Muscle Shoals or originally cut in Memphis. And I used all those players from down there and the Muscle Shoals horns and background singers and all that from down there.
So good.
So I was talking to Dwight Yoakam. Dwight, there was several of us that came out about the same year. It was Keith Whitley and Randy Travis and Marty Stewart and Steve Earle and Dwight Yoakam and me. Our albums came out about 86, 85, 86. So we've all remained really close friends since then. And we love each other very much. We're all tight buddies. And so I was talking to Dwight, and he asked me what I'd been up to, and I told him about, going down and cutting these songs. And he said, well, by any chance, did you cut a song called I'm Your Puppet? And I said,
good.
Yeah, man. I said, matter of fact, I did. He said, can I sing on it? Sing on it.
We just played it.
Yeah, we just played it.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm going to play it again tonight. Yeah.
Well, he went in the studio out in Hollywood and did his duet, and then he sang all background, all in the whole song, and he took a lot of time. He's a perfectionist, and he took a lot of time doing it. So when I heard that, I thought, because this album wasn't going to be a duets record at all. And when I heard his thing, I thought, man, I need to call Tanya. And then I thought, well, let me call Winona, and then Sammy Hagar, and I just started calling people, and it kind of turned into I think there's 11 duets on out of 14 songs.
You've got the now you are the quintessential country soul artist, but you've got the soul man on this project too, don't you? Isn't Sam Moore on this?
Heck yeah, Sam Moore's on it. He's one of my best friends.
He's
it's
awesome.
It's wonderful to grow up and be able to meet and get to know your heroes.
Yes.
And I've been knowing Sam probably 30 years now, and I call him Big Daddy. And so yes, to get him and and Eddie Floyd, who Steve Cropper and Eddie Floyd wrote "Knock on Wood," and Eddie Floyd had the hit on it.
Yes.
And to have Eddie Floyd actually sing a duet with me on "Knock on Wood" was great. Yes. And one of the things that I wanted to have a tribute out, the soul tribute album, but it's also kind of a tribute to these older artists.
Yes.
Just to show, I just wanted everybody to know that they could still sing.
Yes, and they can. They say it sounds so good. T the album. Yeah. These guys are so good, and Betty. I mean, everybody's so good on this. They're still doing it. It's great.
Sam's 87, and he
sounds as good as ever. Yeah.
And Eddie Floyd's like 85. Little Anthony's 84 or 5. Delbert's 83, I think.
Yeah.
Well, heck, I'll be 70 in a couple of months, so I'm almost up there. But yeah, I think they did a great job. I think everybody did a great job.
Yes, it's so good, and folks, you need to get this. You need to get this project. It's so good. It's so good from Memphis to Muscle Shoals.
You can download it, on iTunes, and it's all over the internet. It's all over Spotify and Pandora and all that. Or you can we're having physical CDs manufactured right now and vinyl. So you can go to tgrahamBrown.com and order, a CD or vinyl, and I'll sign it for them or whatever. Wonderful. If you want a physical copy, go to tgrahamBrown.com. But if you just want to get the album, download it.
That's great.
Very good.
Good to know.
Hey, you know what? You know what's really cool?
What's that?
I have never had a number one album in my life.
Really?
Even when I was having hits, I had top 10s, but I never had a number one. And then when From Memphis to Muscle Shoals came out, it debuted at number one on the iTunes Blues Albums chart.
Oh, nice.
And then it debuted at number 5 in the Billboard Blues Albums charts.
Rightly so.
It's really nice at this point in my life to have some good stuff happening like that. And then the Opry induction and all that.
Yes.
It's been a good year.
Yes. This is a blessed year for you, for sure.
Well deserved.
Yeah, well deserved. Absolutely.